Look, I'm just going to get into it. What Malik Scott had to say, right? On 78 Sports TV interview with Malik Scott, Deontay Wilder. Malik Scott, said some things of, Wilder being, the only thing close. One of the things that's the closest to Muhammad Ali in the heavyweight division, based off the things that he had to go through as a heavyweight champ, right? Gave a man a shot, 2 shots at a heavyweight world title. Same thing that Muhammad Ali did with a couple of his folks, people that were broke and down and out, needed a fight, and he gave him a fight, fed him, right? Now let's fast forward to this whole arbitration thing, and we see that the powers that be that, so-called conduct themselves in the confines of boxing casuals, the people that don't know better, they just, the fly-by-nights, they were fixated on Wilder. They was fixated on Fury versus AJ. The whole time during mediation, the whole time during arbitration. Right? Throwing softball questions at Tyson Fury every time he come up. Don't want to bring it up. And when they bring it up, they don't press the issue. They don't tell him like it is. They don't tell him they don't think that fight is going to happen. They don't do their own segments on the glove gate, Watergate, egg weight gate. What type of things is evidence that Wilder might have. There was no type of things called journalistic integrity. Nobody tried to figure out who's this judge, what's his background or anything, what he looked like, what makes him qualified to conduct an arbitration. Because just because you're a judge doesn't mean you're qualified, because you might not have done it before. You might not have done arbitrations and stuff like that. You might not have done mediations. You might not have set parties down to decide and help work out their differences by way of reading through their contracts and stuff like that. Well, this judge has. Look him up. He's a world-renowned judge. He's a world-renowned arbitrator judge. So, nobody did any type of research to even figure out the magnitude of a ruling when it comes to arbitration in boxing. None of them did. None of these American guys did. None of them tried to even find other judges that did boxing arbitrations, or people that, the gag orders expired. Nobody tried to do anything journalistic, period. They have all the money, all the resources. They know people that know somebody that knows something. And they did absolutely nothing to even try to even talk about the subject. Because guess what? They didn't care. They wanted AJ versus Fury, or Fury and AJ, depending on who you are. And the whole time during arbitration, people saw this. The whole time during arbitration, people were flooding social media saying, nanny, nanny, boo, boo. Who is Deontay Wilder going to fight next? He's going back to fighting bums. He's mentally distressed. He's mentally weak. He's done mentally. All these things, right? Because Deontay Wilder believes that Tyson Fury cheated. So, how many bad scorecards did we see this year? How many times we see a fight where one person can hold and the other person can't? One person can fight in the inside and the other person can't? How many times did we hear fighters, Tyson Fury, his own self admitting that you got to check water? Scared of people trying to drug him? It can't happen. I did a whole fucking video on a Nevada State Athletic Commission official going to jail for selling narcotics, for scheming on credit cards, and all kind of shit. Motherfucker had like 30, 40 fucking charges. So anything can happen in the sport of boxing. Anything. If anything happens on the streets, if anything happens in these other sports with the Patriots and Spygate, back in the days with Balco, anything can happen. Russia with his whole cheating scandal, and in and outside the Olympics, anything can happen in the sport of boxing. Now, I'm not saying what Wilder was talking about is true or not, but what I'm saying is that nobody gave him the benefit of the doubt. Nobody gave him the benefit of the doubt. Nobody tried to nobody that is a journalist by way of being hired to be a journalist, has done anything to disprove it. Not talking about people on YouTube. Not talking about social media propagandists or social media personalities. I'm talking about BT, Sky, Mirror, Sun, ESPN, Fox, the whole Yahoo Sports, CNN, Vice, all of them. Everybody reporting on it, but nobody doing no work. And another thing, since we at this, how does it feel that all you YouTube channels out there had to go to 78 Sports TV's YouTube page to hear the fucking video? How did that fucking make you feel? How did it make you feel when you had to go to 78 Sports TV YouTube page, not only listen to the video, and then download the video, put it in the clips, and play it on your own fucking YouTube channel when you don't even like the guy? You don't even like the LDBC. How did that make you feel that when you did that, you got the most numbers that you got in the wow? How did that make you feel? How is it going to make you feel when YouTube sends you that motherfucking check? How is that going to make you feel? You can go ahead and say, yeah, he could have done a better interview. That's how everybody should feel if they do an interview. That's how all interviews should end. You should feel that you had a little bit more questionings. You could have done this, you could have done that. But guess what? 78 Sports TV did a good job, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, it looked like, he had a good flow. He had a good chemistry with his interviewers or interviewees, whatever you want, interviewers. You know what I'm saying? He gave Wilder's fans what they wanted. He gave his subscribers a look and a voice to Deontay Wilder that they ain't heard in a while. The interview wasn't for you. The interview was for people who ride for Deontay Wilder. The interview was for people who sub to the LDBC. Now, the byproduct is that the whole world gets to see it. But it wasn't for fucking you. You can't relate to him. You can't relate to Deontay Wilder. I can't relate to Tyson Fury. I can't relate to his lingo. I can't relate to how he was brought up. Can't relate to being a gypsy. Can't relate to none of that shit. But I try to at least have a little bit of understanding. And I don't make videos every time he fucking opens his fucking mouth. Because some of the stuff I choose to believe and some of the stuff I don't choose to believe. There's some stuff that I like that he's saying. There's some stuff that I don't like that he says. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing goes with any fighter. The same thing that goes with anybody that has a YouTube page. I ain't gonna like everything you say. Even if I don't like you, you probably say something that they're like, yeah, blah, 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 whoop, whoop. It is what it is. But y'all can keep up over there talking about Deontay Wilder. Look at all the videos that Deontay Wilder been dropping on Instagram. Look at all the vultures. Because that's what y'all are. Y'all vultures. Y'all thieves. Y'all stealing out of 78 Sports TV's mouth. You're stealing. You went up over there, grabbed this video without permission, put it on your page. You ain't no fucking journalist, so you don't fall under anything with journalistic integrity. You're not a student or anything like that. You're not writing the paper, so you don't get that. The little FBI warning y'all be putting up is fake. Go read the fucking law. It don't apply to you. When you sign up to YouTube, you sign up to follow their rules and all that shit. The shit don't apply to you. You in somebody else's house. You see what I'm saying? You weren't even man enough to even email them and ask them, could you use it? Y'all just used it. Talk all that shit about the LDBC, but now y'all over here vulture. Well, you been vulture. But this is even worse. Because you're taking money out of his mouth. YouTube already fucked him out of views, likes for the video. And now y'all coming around here stealing, dropping out of the sky, licking y'all chops, stealing. He should go, if I was him, I'd go to all y'all motherfuckers' channels and start hitting copyright claims. And hope one of y'all get fucking banned for a couple of months. And had to build y'all channels back up. Because you're fucking stealing. You don't like us, but you will steal from us. You don't like us, but you'll come up over here and critique what the fuck somebody else got to say up over here when all the things motherfuckers want to do is be left the fuck alone. Now, what else we got here? The Spencer Fearon guy. He don't give a fuck. His mind is made up. His mind is already made up. He don't like Deontay Wilder. He was fucking blowing his top off the whole way during his arbitration thing. He never gave the man a fucking shot. And then the thing about it is that gets me the most, he don't even have a picture on BoxRec. Nobody in America know who the fuck he is. Most of the motherfuckers don't even know who the fuck he is. Don't even know what he did in boxing. Don't have a picture on his BoxRec. All he has on his BoxRec is a whole bunch of hot L's, ass whoopings, losses. And all these cats see Wilder as this technically flawed individual when it comes to the boxing ring. And they're PO'd, they're pissed the fuck off because he made it farther than them. He made it farther than they can ever make it in the boxing ring. Ever. If Deontay Wilder called them up to do an interview, they'd get on their knees and be ready to receive. All you motherfuckers out there. You hate the man so much, but everybody want to hear him talk. And then when he talk, y'all quick. Look at Tyson Fury's one of his last videos hitting the heavy bag. What kind of shit was that? I didn't make a video. I didn't go steal this video off for Instagram and put it on my shit like y'all look at this shit. Cause I don't fuck with him. I don't ride with him like that. He's a goofball. He's a liar. He don't have mental health, in my opinion. He had all you guys. Check this out. The whole media, and Fury, and Edward Hearn, and Frank Warren all had you guys believing a fight with Fury and AJ was going to happen. It was imminent. Wasn't nothing going to stop it. It's too big to fail. Ain't nobody going to stop this shit. Like you was the captain of the Titanic or something. And now look at y'all. Y'all scared to say it was Tyson Fury's fault. Y'all scared to say Edward Hearn knew this whole time. Y'all scared to say Frank Warren, Bob Arum, all you motherfuckers knew this fight wasn't going to happen. You guys were just holding on that arbitration was going to rule in y'all favor. You mean to fucking tell me with Bob Arum, Frank Warren, and all y'all got together, and Edward Hearn, everybody got together and said, listen, don't be saying shit because this needs to be a 3-part, or all parties got to agree to put out something. Y'all all signed paperwork that y'all wouldn't say nothing. And there you go, Edward Hearn. Couldn't hold it. Couldn't hold it. He knew. Everybody knew. Edward Hearn right now got so many excuses on why it's not his fault. When he knew. All of them. And they all pointing the finger. Tyson Fury's daddy, his uncle, whoever. Everybody pointing the finger at this person, that person. Instead of saying it was them. Nobody taking ownership of 6 months, 9 months, whatever, of waiting. They all pointing the finger at everybody else. What does Tyson Fury got to say about all this shit? What real tough questions did anybody ask Tyson Fury about why this shit didn't happen the way it was? Huh? Where's the tough questions with Edward Hearn? How would anybody say, hey, Edward, man, come on, man. You can't tell us that you didn't know. You can't tell us that this whole time you guys were talking back and forth and you saying that you wasn't, but you was, because Bob Arum and this guy is telling you that you was. So what really happened? Why are you not signing the Usyk fight right now? You don't want it to go to purse bid, but where's the contract? Where's all the talks about the contract now? How come you beating around the bush when it comes to Usyk and not saying it's happening? Like you still weighing your options. Who's Anthony Joshua going to fight next? Dillian White or Ruiz? No, Usyk. And that's the only thing y'all should be worried about. That's the only, if mark my words, if I wouldn't really necessarily call it a duck, because I don't really, nobody knows what Usyk can do in the heavyweight division, really, because, he ain't, fought nobody. But if AJ doesn't fight Usyk next, I'm telling y'all better do AJ and Edward Hearn the same way y'all did Wilder. Now, on that note, shout outs to the LDBC and everybody stay sucker free.